Have you ever wondered how Google gives you results in milliseconds? How Instagram loads feeds so fast? Or how Amazon finds the best product match among millions? The answer lies in data structures and algorithms, the backbone of efficient problem solving. So, what exactly is data structures and algorithms? DSA. Data structures are simple ways to organize data and store them so that we can use it efficiently. You can think of them as containers to contain and hold the data. And you can contain them in data structures like arrays, linked list, stacks, queues, graphs. Each has its own use. Whereas, on the other hand, algorithms are the step by step methods or instructions to solve problems using that data. So you can assume algorithm to be a manual that you will read and understand and follow the instructions so that your problem is solved. Let's understand this better with an example. Picture this. You're building a system where you need to check if a user exists in a list of 1 million names. So all that you have to do is you already have 1 million usernames, and in that you'll have to find if a particular username exists in that list of 1 million usernames. Now, how do you go about this? The very first thing you do is you decide on a data structure. So, what data structures you're going to use in order to store all these usernames? And if you think or ponder on list or array, then it's a wrong choice. A list or an array a wrong choice? That is because if you store all the names in a simple list or array, then to check if a particular username, let's say Madiha, exists, you will have to scan through all the names one by one. That is, imagine if this is the list that you're using, list or an array, and consider this has 1 million records. Okay. And if you have to find a particular username, that is Madiha, then you have to iterate every element one by one in order to reach and match this particular username. So this is time taking. Let's say if Madiha is at the very last element, it's the last element, then you'll have to scan all the 1 million names in order to reach to the spot where Madiha exists. Right. So that takes a lot of time. And imagine this time it is 1 million. Let's say if the data keeps growing, then the time consumption scales up as well. So this will totally take big O of n. So which is not something efficient. So what's the right choice? Using a hash map. Now, why using a hash map is better with compared to list or an array? That is because if you make use of a list or an array, the amount of time taken to search a particular username existence in a list was big O of n. Whereas in case of hash map, it will be big O of 1. Okay, which is more efficient than big O of n. Now, why is it big O of 1 here in case of hash map? Because we make use of key value pairs here. So what we do is if you have a username, we will put that in a key and its particular value will be stored in the bucket. Okay. And a hash function is applied to it. So if I just have to find username Madhya, then I'll have to look for that key, for that key's existence in the hash map. So if Madhya key is present, then it will directly apply hash function and go to the particular bucket and it will fetch the value of whatever username you want. And the search is simpler and faster. Key takeaway here is the efficiency of your program does not just depend on writing code that works, but rather choosing the right data structure for the problem. That's the true power of DSA. Because choosing the right data structure will help you solve the problem efficiently by minimizing the time taken to solve the problem. And that's what people want. That's what the real problem solving mean. And hence, DSA is extremely important for efficient problem solving. This brings us to the end of the video. If you found something knowledgeable, then do like, share, and subscribe to stay tuned. And we shall see you on the next video of DSA.